Hi, my name's Deborah Wilcox, and I'm a Senior Research Analyst here at Infotech Research Group. Today we're going to talk about the 4 stages of value that will enable your organization to achieve enterprise architecture benefits. Enterprise architecture is not a technology or a process. It's a discipline made up of frameworks, methods, and tools that help organizations of all sizes chart a course away from unnecessary costs. These costs are due to systems and process duplication in the entire organization. It eliminates redundancy and complexity through standards and reuse. EA focuses on long-term strategic impact, steadily reducing costs and improving time to market. Companies implementing enterprise architecture will pass through 4 distinct and successive stages of value, each leveraging the gains from the previous stage and compounding the value realized from each stage. The stages are standardization and governance, design reuse, component reuse, and solution reuse. If we use a home building analogy, the standardization and governance stage would represent the codes and bylaws required to build a house, and the inspectors who are responsible for ensuring codes are being followed. Value comes from knowing the rules and regulations in advance and eliminating rework for non-compliance and one-off solutions that don't meet the codes. Design reuse represents the blueprint for the house that is used over and over again to create a neighborhood, eliminating the need to redesign the entire house from the ground up every time you want to build one. Component reuse represents the prefabricated components that are used in the house, example kitchen cupboards and stairs. This saves time and money. That would have been spent building the stairs and cupboards for every house. Solution reuse would be a modular home that can be put down anywhere without reconstructing the whole house from blueprints again, resulting in huge cost savings by being able to stamp out the solution over and over again rapidly and not designing and building the house from scratch every time. Now let's look at each stage of value in more detail. Stage 1 is the standardization and governance phase. Stage 1 defines standards and uses frameworks and governance to consolidate assets and services throughout the organization. This results in development and operations cost reductions by as much as 10%. Start by standardizing on a few key vendors and products to save on licensing and service costs. Initially, create standard requirements and function points that need to be met, then move on to rationalizing the actual vendors and products. Plan future projects to develop criteria for product selection. Reducing complexity by standardizing on technologies and tools means a less diverse employee skill set is required, with reduced emphasis on specialized and one-off competencies. This results in lower overall staff training, labor, and project implementation costs. Ensure alignment of IT projects with business objectives by ensuring linkage between business goals and IT strategy and solutions through the EA governance process. In addition, governance maintains the integrity of the architecture by making sure that the projects continue to comply with the EA standards. The standardization stage includes mentoring, reference architectures, templates and governance for subsequent stages, and a strong base for significant future cost savings. Stage 2 is design reuse, where organizations create reusable patterns of design in architecture and design artifacts for projects and operational maintenance changes. By leveraging proven concepts to streamline change management, your organization can realize up to 20% savings over and above the savings from standardization. Designing patterns involves documenting processes, lessons learned, and success factors. Link the patterns to the enterprise strategy to provide a blueprint for rapid implementation and problem solving and to speed the rate of strategic adaptation. Design reuse is about developing and reusing design patterns for processes, data structures, application modules, technology components, security solutions, and organization workflow. Repurpose these patterns for use in new and existing systems. They support information sharing and process change and provide a blueprint for action. Single solutions may employ several of these patterns. Use patterns across all domain architectures, linking patterns in the business domain to IT patterns that power them. Organizational patterns use proven business processes, such as collaboration and information aggregation, to aid in workflow management and process improvement. Data patterns support the variety of ways in which data is captured and used to increase reliability and productivity. Application patterns employ regularly used components to create multiple applications. Technology patterns allow quick deployment of technology, such as in the use of desktop imaging. Process patterns provide an established approach to software development to minimize errors, and security patterns enable efficient integration of proven security components into application and engineering processes. Stage 3 is component reuse, through which organizations can reduce development time to market and costs by as much as another 20%. The key advantage of component reuse is that most errors are limited to non-reusable components, thereby reducing defects by 50% or more. And during recovery procedures, the behavior of reusable components is already fully understood and fully tested, significantly improving mean time to recover. Reusable components include program codes, scripts, executable modules, desktop or server images. They reliably and repeatedly perform a specific function. Components also add considerable value to the process of eliminating improvements to the IT environment by automating redundant tasks and reducing errors. Create and maintain a catalog of reusable components for use by project and operational teams to significantly decrease time to market and improve the quality of output. Organizations introducing reusable components are shifting focus from productivity to quality. Constant use makes components much more reliable than one-off systems. Stage 4 is solution reuse. Progressing to solution reuse can yield an enormous potential reduction in project costs and operational cost avoidance of up to 30%, over and above the savings from the previous stages of value. Solution reuse is the pinnacle of efficiency, reusing entire solutions instead of just individual components, and enables rapid, cost-effective solution deployment. Organizations create the solutions for business and technology, leveraging and combining the building blocks of proven standards, design patterns, and components developed in the first 3 stages. Incorporate solution reuse into existing and new business functions. Reusable solutions streamline change management and support future productivity. Develop end-to-end solutions that capture at least 80% of the functionality of the organization. An example of solution reuse would be a financial institution that, instead of designing a new branch office in every new territory, the company documents standard set of business processes, applications, and technology components that provide all the necessary branch office functionality. With minimal modification to the design, the institution can build every new branch reusing this solution, saving time, money on new branch startups. Other examples of solution reuse can include case management systems for health, legal, claims, and other business functions, certificate management systems for permits, licenses, authorizations, and registrations, order fulfillment systems for all types of order processing, and billing systems for billing different types of products and services. Finally, don't forget governance and continuous improvement. Incorporate EA governance into your project process to ensure the integrity of the architecture as the organization grows and evolves. Plenty of work remains at each stage of value. Implement continuous improvement of designs, components, and solutions to ensure continuing benefits. Effectively employing enterprise architecture discipline is a multi-year journey that can take from 5 to 7 years to reach stage 4. However, EA begins to deliver value in the first year, with savings and cost avoidance benefits accumulating up to 80% by the end of the journey. Take a look into Infotech's Enterprise Architecture Strategy Storyboard to learn more about how enterprise architecture can benefit your organization and to develop a roadmap of EA adoption. Thank you for joining me.